Jamie Constable. I'm driving a beautiful LMP1 Pescarolo from 2011. Obviously from the very famous Henry Pescarolo out of his stable cars. And a car that competed quite successfully in that period in 2011. I did lots of different things. I built a few companies up over the years. We've still got a few of those that they run successfully. Thank God I've got some great guys running all the different companies, so it frees me up a bit to go motor racing. I mean, I fell in love with the colours. That iconic Gulf livery just makes it look so special. It's an amazing car to drive. For an amateur driver like me to be able to drive an LMP1 is so powerful. The downforce is like off the scale. You're blown away every time you drive it, and it's just. I guess it was two things. It was just the fact I could get into an LMP1 and one that was so iconic, just looked so lovely. Just made me want to have that car. I thought, you always like to be at the front of the grid, so I won't be at the front of the grid with an LMP2, so I thought I'd try and get an LMP1. It was a bit terrifying the first time I drove it, because it is a hell of a lot quicker than most of the other cars I've driven. I'm used to driving old Formula 1 cars, which are great fun, but a very different experience. You get a lot more feel, everything that's going on. With this car, it's got traction control, which is something that it's taken me a while to get my head around, and how to use it properly. So it's a lot more sophisticated than anything I've ever driven before. It's a 4.4 Judd V8. Puts out a lot of horsepower. I don't know exactly how much. We bought it directly from what is Pescarolo, which is now Ligier, and they put it together. It had some famous French drivers. I can't remember the exact races it did in period. I know it definitely did Spa. I can't remember if it did Le Mans, but it did quite a few of the big races in 2011. It's just an iconic livery, isn't it? I think that and the Martini livery are the two really iconic liveries, and maybe the black JPS, but that was more an F1. I think it just stands out. It's something that everyone recognises, and just the colours seem to work really well. I raced here before, and I thought, I remember the circuit. So I went out last night in the night practice, first time, and it was terrifying. I thought, my God, it's nothing like I remember it. It's miles quicker than I remember it. I can't see any of the entry points or the exit points. My eyes were out on stalks, so I was like, whoa. So it does take you a while to get yourself back in it, and I must confess I'm not back in it yet. So I need a few more runs to just remember how daunting it is, and the speed you carry around the whole bend is just like. And then the infield section, which isn't particularly grippy, is a bit of a challenge in this car. But yeah, it's a very special place. It really is. It's all right on the banking. It's not particularly great because you have to take so much aero off to get the speed on the banking. You lose so much in the infield. So that's the bit that we're really noticing, is just not having what we're used to on downforce on the infield. So you've got to be so tentative around the infield, and then to obviously get the speed around the banking. We just come back from Kota. We did a support race at Kota. We race a lot in Europe, in all the big circuits. Silverstone, we were very fortunate. We won there this year at the Classic. We won in Kota as well, so she's done really well until we got here, and now we're qualified disastrously. So we've got a lot to do from a long way back on the grid. But the weekend comes to you, so you just got to. We would have liked to have been a little bit ahead of where we are at the moment. So the first race is tomorrow at 5 p.m. And we'll just see how it's 4 races, so it's a long game. You just got to make sure you're there at the end with the car in one piece.